welcome to the Art of Pandora podcast. Lina and I will be chatting about all things Pandora. We want to start out by introducing ourselves. My name is Katie, and my Instagram name is Charmingly Baroque.
And my name is Lina, and my Instagram name is Pandora Shark.
So, I just want to chat, obviously, about Pandora. How long have you been collecting Pandora charms?
So for me, I have been collecting Pandora charms since probably around 2010, 2011. I had a few charms. I think I had like a pineapple and a few other sort of little quirky charms. But my main kind of collecting hobbies would have started about 2019, I'd say, where I really started to ramp up my collection. I had to wait until I obviously was working and could afford that many charms, and that's when I really got into it as well. When Pandora started to change their designs to be a bit more intricate and detailed, that's when they really caught my attention. And once the Disney collections sort of started to ramp up, that's when I really got into Pandora collecting. What about you, Katie? When did you start?
So, I've been collecting Pandora for 16 years. My first Pandora charm was given to me by my mom and sister-in-law when my nephew was born. I have two older brothers. They are 14 and 10 years older than me. So I was in high school when my oldest nephew was born. So it was kind of an aunt gift. But I definitely got hooked and then just continued collecting from there. And I guess it was nice, easy gift for family and friends to give me. And then, yes, as soon as I started working, I just continued to grow that collection.
Yeah, I can totally understand that, getting hooked. And I think that's beautiful that a family member gave you your first charm. I think that's really sweet. My first sort of memorable charm, other than the pineapple, was it was in 2016. There was a Alice in Wonderland collection that came out, and there was this open work tea party charm which had Alice, and the Mad Hatter and the March Hare all on the charm having the tea party together. So for me, that's what I consider my first charm that would have hooked me, I think. And then the Disney princesses started coming out, and yeah, that definitely caused a snowball effect for me.
Nice. I completely understand that. My first charm was actually like a American football charm. My brothers played football, and I love football, and so that was one of the first ones I got. But for sure, the addition of Disney was uh, was a real hook for me as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what is it that you love about Pandora charm bracelets?
I really love how creative you can be with them. I love the ability to create something that is entirely your own story, right? And whether that story is like just certain memories in your life that you're getting charms for, or if you have a large collection and are able to create these themed bracelets, is also just is so wonderful because you have this bracelet and no one else is going to have that exact design. And I really like that, the creative ability to design the bracelet, but also the uniqueness of what you end up creating. What about you?
Yeah, I completely agree. The storytelling aspect for it for me is really special. The fact that that bracelet holds your unique story and you can share as much or as little of that as you want with people. Because what I found is, I'll go into work with a Pandora bracelet on and people will be like, wow, I love your bracelet. And, you can choose to engage and explain the story of it, or you can, tell them about certain charms. And then, as you say, it's a great gift, giving thing in that people know what to get you, or now they start getting gift vouchers because they're like, you have everything, I don't know what to get you. But I really like the storytelling aspect of it, and I love the prettiness. I love the fact that it's something that's compact to collect as well. That sounds really silly, but if I was collecting something bigger, I just wouldn't have room for it in my house. So, yeah, I like the fact that you can store it and the versatility. So you can make a bracelet, then if you want to, you can totally change it over once a new collection comes through or mix and match charms across different collections. So I think that's really special. And my most special kind of bracelets are the ones that do have something to do with, as you have said before, like family or special life events or something like that. So I like being able to, like a photograph, kind of commemorate those moments in bracelet form. I find that really fun.
Yeah, that's really nice. Do you keep a wish list of charms that you want?
Yes, definitely. Do you?
I do, and actually, like, I have one on an app, like a wish list app, so that I can share it with, family and friends. That way, it's like, because you mentioned like having to just like get a voucher because people don't know what you have, right? So I ended up making a wish list. So then I'm like, here you go pick something off of this.
That's so good. That's great. I'm gonna have to get your app later on.
Yeah,
That sounds really good. Yeah, I do have a wish list. I sort of keep it to myself, but maybe I should share it. That's a great idea.
yeah. So do you keep designated bracelet designs all the time, or do you use free flowing charms to design with?
So for me, I have bracelets that I'm not going to change. So for example, my wedding bracelet, I'm not going to change that one. That will stay. That was my 30th birthday gift from my husband that I then turned into my wedding bracelet by adding like something blue. And then like that one is set in stone. I'm not going to move it. I'm not going to change the charms around. And I try not to wear it too much because I kind of want to preserve it forever. But then there's other bracelets that I keep for a while, and then once new collections come through, I kind of mix and match them. So an example of that would be like my Valentine's Day bracelets. Usually you can see that they evolve over time with some charms from last year or the previous year's collection, but then I'll add new special charms, and eventually they turn into two bracelets. So for example, my Christmas bracelets have spewed over multiple bracelets now where they don't fit onto the one. So I've sort of got different styles of Christmas bracelet now. So I'll keep them, but then I'll add as charms come along. And then I've got a whole range of free flowing charms as well that I like to design with or put on dangles or put on earrings too. So what about you? Do you have set bracelet designs or do you go free flow?
Nice. Yeah, I do a bit of both as well. I do have a lot of bracelets that I've designed over the years, and for the most part, they stay as is. Sometimes I'll take them apart to like design a bracelet with, but then usually they go back together as they were. So I have a lot of a fairy tale bracelet, travel star bracelet. Um, I feel like with some of my more recent charm additions, they're a bit more free flowing. And once I come up with a new bracelet design, because I do normally like wear like one full complete bracelet on one hand, and then on my other hand, that's where I'm like a free flow design almost every night, designing a couple little like kind of mini designs on bangles or like on an open bangle. And so I do like the option of, free flowing charms to design something new with on a daily basis. But I love your mention of Christmas bracelets as well. I remember there was a point in time where I was like, oh, no, I am not going to get any holiday charms. But then, you get one Christmas charm, and all of a sudden, you have several bracelets of Christmas charms because they're just too cute, and I love Christmas too much.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I tried to limit myself in so many different ways. I was like, I'm only going to get Disney ones, or, you know, I'm only going to get this. I'm not going to get these collections. And then they come out with something super adorable, and I'm like, I can't. I have to get it. So I understand.
Yes, and the Christmas ornaments as well. Do you have any of those?
So it's weird in Australia. Sometimes we get them and sometimes we don't. I do definitely have the ones that they've released here. They had a phase of releasing them quite often, and then I think we missed a few years of it. But last year they re-released it. So yeah, I definitely try to get on board if they actually release it here for sure. What about you?
For sure. I basically, in the past, have had like a little mini Christmas tree that is entirely Pandora ornaments. I began collecting them actually like received some of the older ones from Mall of America, Be Charming. They had a like giveaway years and years ago because I didn't have a lot of the like original older ornaments, and I guess they still had some left. So when I won that, then it was like, oh, gotta have the ornament every year going forward. Because I also think there was one year where the U.S. did not get an ornament, but I had to get it from the UK. So
Yeah, it's great when you have people abroad that can help a sister out. That's always really nice. I love seeing that in the Pandora community where someone will like write in the comments, "Oh yes, I'm happy to send you, Disneyland charms or something like that." So I think that's really sweet.
yeah, it is a great community meeting friends from all over and having those connections.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I know this is a tough question, but do you have a favorite charm or maybe more broadly a favorite bracelet?
So for sure, favorite charm is very difficult. I wouldn't say that I have a favorite one currently. One of my favorite ones to like design my little mini designs with is a charm that my boyfriend just got me. It's the happily ever after charm. It has Mickey and Minnie, and they're watching like the fireworks show at Disney World. So it has the castle in the background, and it has a really lovely like blending of blue and pink and purple. So it kind of just goes with everything. So it's been one of my favorite charms lately to design with. And favorite bracelet, probably some of my older designs. I have a what I call like a star Fantasia bracelet. So it's primarily like blue and like clear CZ stars, but then it also has like a blue Mickey Mouse cap, and then the Fantasia dangle has the Fantasia like Mickey Mouse sorcerer hat, and it's one of my favorites because I love like a kind of royal blue color. And then I also have a fairy tale bracelet that has a bunch of the like old classic two-tone Pandora charms, which were some of my favorites. And I do always, it always brings me great joy to be wearing one of those bracelets. What about
So
you?
great. I love that you talked about the Fantasia. I love the classic Disney characters and charms as well. I think my favorite charms are probably ones I got after they were released. So I eventually collected all of the Princess Muranos that were glow in the dark. And then I
Yes.
progressively went with the dresses as well. Like and collected the dangles, the princess dresses. So I do love those because I think because of the effort it took me to try and collect them too, that was quite exciting. It kind of reminds me of when Pandora did that Pandora 2020 charm that was released every month, and just the excitement of collecting that. I really enjoyed that. So those are probably some of my favorite charms. And my favorite bracelet was my Valentine's Day bracelet, just because I love the red, pink, gold kind of colors that you can mix and match with. But that's since been superseded since my son has been born with my bracelet that kind of is a tribute to him and his little journey so far. He's only 4 months old, so it was really fun to make and a really nice distraction from the trenches of newborn life to actually make a bracelet that represented him. So I think at the moment that would be my absolute favorite bracelet because it just reminds me of him. And I've recently got, the letters of his name and put those through the design as well. And I really like the blue kind of and aqua colors that that bracelet has too. So that would be my favorite at the moment, but my favorites do change. I love your idea of wearing one full bracelet and then sort of having free flowing charms on the other hand. I think that's really cool. I'm going to experiment with something like that too. That's a really creative way of kind of showcasing your collection too, because I find sometimes my full bracelets just hang out in the jewelry box, and that's a really nice way of wearing them out. I think I'm going to take that on board.
That's good. Well, that's wonderful. And congratulations on your son.
Oh, thank you.
So, 4 months, you must be busy.
Yes, doing nothing but very busy is how it is.
Yeah, several of my friends are currently pregnant or just gave birth to sweet babies. So
Oh, that's
it's
lovely.
nice to have them around.
Mm.
So what made you decide to start a Pandora charm focused Instagram?
So I sort of fell into it by accident, I think. I had sort of this gap of time, I guess, during the pandemic because I started in 2020. So I sort of had this gap of time and I kind of discovered it by accident. I found the Art of Pandora blog online before I found the social media side of it. And then I realized that there's this whole community taking photos of their charms and people with different accounts. And I thought, oh, wow, that's something I'd love to be part of. And because it was the, all those lockdowns and things like that, I had the time, but I also really valued the fact that you could still connect with people online that way. And I just love the creativity of it. I love that it's something that's kind and something that's fun and positive, and something that you can share with others with the same passion. So that's what really made me excited about the Instagram side of things. Plus, I really enjoy the photography aspect of it as well, and getting to design and, thinking about placement of charms and what the background's going to be and where I'm going to take the photos. And yeah, so that's kind of my journey into Instagram with Pandora. What about you?
So I got on Instagram, I guess it was in college, and and there was one Instagrammer that like focused on Pandora charms, and so I like really loved her account and uh, started really wanting to collect even more than I already had. But then Pandora, what really got me into like taking my own photos was that Pandora did a giveaway of a limited edition 14 karat gold Eiffel Tower with a little diamond in it, and I desperately wanted to win this charm. Spoiler alert, I did not. Um, but it got me into taking some photos of my Pandora collection, and I really, really enjoyed that. And it was a nice creative outlet for me, as well as a stress reliever. And so it's something that I continue to do as that creative outlet, like through law school and while working. And then obviously just enjoyed that community and just the chance to converse with other Pandora lovers was fantastic.
Yeah, I totally agree. In that regard about the community and the stress relief too. It is a really fun kind of pursuit. There's the I was thinking about while you were talking about the Eiffel Tower. I saw on our the Art of Pandora blog that there's the Olympic collection coming out, and I'm pretty sure that there's charms with diamonds and Eiffel Towers too. So you might get another chance to get something like that if you feel like you missed out.
Yes, I saw that. I think it will be going on my wish list for the future.
Nice, nice, nice. So what's the meaning behind your Instagram name?
So obviously, it charmingly goes to the Pandora charms and charm collection. Baroque is actually an kind of ode to Beauty and the Beast.
Hmm.
There's a joke in the like animated version of Beauty and the Beast where Cogsworth asks, you know, he makes a joke about if it's not Baroque, don't fix it. And so that's kind of my little ode to Beauty and the Beast, which is one of my favorite Disney movies.
Yes, I love that. And I love that joke. He's showing Belle around the castle, isn't he? And trying
Yes.
to act all knowledgeable and funny. Yeah. I made that joke to my husband the other day because he's also, you know, he knows a lot about music. And I said, oh, you should you should make that joke too when you're teaching music. And he had no idea what I was talking about. I'm like, come on. Everyone knows that quote. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I love it. I think that's really clever. I'm glad that that's what your Instagram handle is about, because that's what I've always thought when I've seen it. So I wasn't sure, but I think that's really cute. And I loved that the Beauty and the Beast collection that came out not that long ago, like a year, maybe 2 years ago. I thought that was beautiful, where it had almost like those stained glass window type charms. I think so pretty.
Yes, that charm is really beautiful. It was an immediate must have for me when it was released.
Yeah, I'll
But
bet. I'll bet.
what about your Instagram name?
So my Instagram name, it doesn't have a very deep meaning. I have a fluffy toy shark that I bought during a wonderful holiday on Hamilton Island, which is in Queensland in Australia, and it's this beautiful like tropical paradise. And I bought a stuffed toy shark there, um, and its name was Slater, and I really liked it. So yeah, I decided that I would call my Instagram Pandora Shark, because I happened to have my Pandora collection out and I had the shark near me at the same time, and that's how it happened. I thought I was trying to find a name that nobody else had. Um, and I like that sort of playfulness about it. I like the predator aspect about it. It's also got a little bit of an Australian vibe to it, because we are often known for our sharky waters. And the shark is quite cute too. So I just went with a playful, humorous kind of name. And I am a bit of a Pandora predator because I have a large collection. So yeah, that's my Instagram name.
Nice, I love it. And how do you normally, I guess, store your charms and bracelets?
So I I have a few stackers kind of jewelry boxes. I have many Pandora jewelry boxes as well. One particularly big one, and then lots of those smaller ones that kind of came with promotions, or in store they would sometimes just be like, here, have a jewelry box. I think because I was a regular customer. So I kind of store them in themes. So I have one, for example, one of the smaller Pandora jewelry boxes has my Marvel charms in there. And then I have a whole section of a Stackers collection with my Disney charms. And I try to keep them in those, it's not very glamorous, but I try to keep them in those little snap lock bags that they come in, just so that they don't tarnish as quickly. And then my bracelets that I've designed and like kind of keep as full bracelets, I do the same thing. I put them in these little snaplock bags inside the jewelry boxes. So there are a few jewelry boxes I have where the charms are kind of on display and it looks pretty, but the majority of them are in little Ziploc bags, stored so that they don't tarnish as easily. Because if I took my collection in store to clean, they'd be cleaning for a long time. So yeah, I try to keep them as tarnish free as possible. What about you? Do you have any creative way of storing it?
Nope, I'm pretty similar. I have a bunch of the smaller, gifts with purchase jewelry boxes. For the most part, I use those as decoration, so I'm not storing within them. I do have quite a lot of the Stackers collections. It was actually fun. A few years back, a group of us got to like help design some of the new layers for being able to store charms and kind of come up with brainstorm ideas for um, how best to store them. So I have a collection of those, and then I also like searched for years for there was like the big kind of like cream white large Pandora jewelry box, and I had seen it on Instagram on someone else's Instagram, and so I searched for it for years on eBay before I found it. So I absolutely love that jewelry box and try to really take care of it.
Yeah, I think I know the one you mean. The holy grail of Pandora jewelry boxes. I have a big one that's grey, and I'm the same about that one. I'm very precious about that one. That one's the one that looks good. That one's the aesthetic storage.
Yes.
Yeah, and the other ones are more functional storage. I'm glad that you guys helped design the Stackers jewelry boxes, because that's why they're so good and so functional. Because only a Pandora collector would know the kind of depth you need, and the amount of spaces for rings and charms, and yeah, the bracelet kind of loops. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So, what charm would you like to see Pandora design?
I would love to see a few sidekicks in the Disney and Pixar movies. So Pandora Shark would obviously love to see Bruce the shark from Finding Nemo be designed because I feel like that would be great for my for my account and its name. And I also love Finding Nemo because it's set in Australia and I've snorkeled on the Great Barrier Reef and all the characters I find really funny. I'd also really love some of the seagulls from Finding Nemo just because they're so silly. As an actual charm, like I think I've seen them on a park's dangle maybe, just as an enamel kind of design, but I'd love them as a full chunky charm. And I would love, love, love to see Rex from Toy Story, like the dinosaur, be created into a actual charm. I'm not sure whether it has, maybe it has, but yeah, because we don't have Disneyland here, I'm not as knowledgeable about what has come out in all the Disney parks and things like that. So I would love a Rex charm for my Disney bracelets. What about you?
No, 100% you partially stole my answer. I would love to see a Rex charm design. Pascal from Tangled is also one of
Oh,
my
yes.
favorite characters, so I would love to see him in charm form.
Mm,
And just in general, I think that sometimes Pandora misses out on the opportunity to make new like Disney character designs. There's just so many Disney characters out there, and so I would love to see. I agree with you, like more Pixar character designs and just like in general more Disney characters created. So,
yeah, totally. I'd also love a Daisy Duck that's like a chunky charm rather than just a little, like they've just recently released the Daisy Dangle, and I was all about it. But I
mhm.
really want like sort of like those princesses that were kind of a chunkier charm. I'd love a Daisy Duck like that, or even like a Disney Babies kind of Daisy or something like that. I think would be really cute. That came out in the normal collections, not just in parks. For those of us who don't yet have a park, yeah, that I think would be cool. And yes, Toy Story Rex is iconic. He has to come out as a charm, surely, surely.
I would really hope so. I love dinosaurs in general, so Rex is definitely a favorite character of mine, and yes, I desperately need him to be made.
Yeah, that's so funny that you say that because we're a big dinosaur family. Like, as a joke, I buy my husband a lot of Jurassic Park stuff. Like, I'm currently sitting with three T-Rex Jurassic Park things behind me and around me. And we've bought the big, like, stuffed toy Rex for my son as well from Toy Story. So, yeah, that's funny. We've got that in common. It's such a niche thing
That's
to have in common as an adult.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I totally have a Rex plush as well that I like to like all the time just like sitting on the couch or something. And we actually went to there was a Jurassic Park in concert where like there's a symphony playing the
Yep.
music, and we actually went to that last weekend and it was fantastic.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
I'm all about more dinosaur charms as well, I guess.
Me too, me too. I'd have all sorts of dinosaur charms. I have a husband inspired dinosaur bracelet.
Well, that sounds great.
Yeah. Do you have any other hobbies that you or collections that you have other than Jurassic now that we've discovered that we're both Jurassic fans?
Yes, I just in general definitely Disney
Mm.
collections. I was for a while there collecting Disney pins. I have tried to step back a bit from my collections because, like as you said, one of the advantages of Pandora is that it's smaller and it can be contained in a smaller section of your home. And I feel like I'd gone a little too far with some of the Disney collecting where I'm like I've run out of wall space and places to put things. But I'm always taking a look at the Disney store online to check out the new Disney figurines and pins. So
Nice, nice. I used to have a huge pin collection when the Olympic Games were in Sydney in the year 2000, and it was really popular to collect pins. So we have a huge collection from that time. But as you, I also stepped back from pin collecting. when I was in high school at some point, and I'm just lucky, I think, in a sense. Unlucky, but also lucky that there is no Disneyland near me, because I would be an annual pass member and there would be so many things in my house. I'd almost need another house. So I'm very lucky that it's far away and hard to get for me. So yeah, I've stuck to Pandora with my collections, because otherwise, yeah, as I said before, it's just going to be out of control. Um, but I love it. Pandora is a fun thing to collect, and so is Disney. I value that. Disney's a good time.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I guess at this point we try to log off, kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
So
I mean, we can.
we are going to do another episode on our summer bracelets and talk about some of the summer charms that have come out, and some of the summer bracelets that we've designed. So we'd love everyone to join, to listen, and then share your summer collections with us too. I think that would be wonderful. It was really, really lovely to talk to you, Katie, and we found lots in common just in our conversation. So I think that was really, really sweet. And I really look forward to another conversation on our Art of Pandora podcast.
For sure. I really enjoyed chatting with you, Lina, and thank you all for listening.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you in our next episode. Bye for now.